At Lincoln Elementary in South Central Los Angeles, imagination was the true currency among students. Every recess, kids filled the playground with games, inventions, and wild stories that reached as far as the city skyline. For a tight-knit group of fourth graders, Ava, Jamal, Lucas, and Maya, their greatest joy was drawing comics in a battered notebook, dreaming up adventures that mixed real life with pure fantasy. Ava was the ringleader, always full of ideas. Jamal was the artist, his drawings surprisingly detailed for a kid his age. Lucas made up jokes and wild plot twists, while Maya was the one who turned their ideas into words. Together, they had created dozens of homemade comics, stapling pages by hand and reading them to friends under the big oak tree. Their newest project was their boldest yet. Lil Snoop Adventures. Inspired by the music and kindness of Snoop Dogg, whose songs their parents played at home, whose charitable work they'd seen on TV, they imagined a cartoon version of him, a cool, funny kid who solved problems and helped his friends in the neighborhood. In the comic, Lil Snoop rode a skateboard, gave pep talks, and came up with creative ways to help kids stand up to bullies or fix problems at home. He rapped about staying true to yourself, working hard, and lifting each other up. The character quickly became a hero in their school. They shared their comics with classmates and even gave a copy to their teacher, Ms. Morales, who proudly displayed it on the classroom wall. "This is what creativity looks like," she told them. "You're making your own heroes." One afternoon, Ava suggested they send their comic to Snoop Dogg himself. Maybe he'll like it. Maybe he'll even write us back. The others laughed, but decided it couldn't hurt to try. They pooled their lunch money to buy a stamp, packed the comic into a bright blue envelope, and mailed it to Snoop Dogg's record label, address found online. Weeks passed. The comic became a favorite among the younger kids at recess, and their teachers encouraged them to make more stories. Still, Ava kept hoping for a reply, checking the mail every afternoon just in case. Then, one morning, Ms. Morales entered the classroom grinning from ear to ear. "Kids," she announced, holding up her phone, "you're not going to believe this. Snoop Dogg just shared your comic on his Instagram." The class erupted in cheers. Their comic was suddenly the talk of the school, and then of the city. As news spread, the group's comic was featured in the local newspaper and on TV. Kids all over Los Angeles began drawing their own versions of Lil Snoop, and parents shared the story online as a celebration of youth creativity and positive role models. But nothing compared to what happened next. One sunny Friday, a limousine pulled up in front of Lincoln Elementary just as school let out. Teachers and students stared as Snoop Dogg himself stepped onto the playground, dressed in jeans and a hoodie, flashing his trademark grin. He carried the kids' original comic, its pages worn from reading. "Who made this?" he called, holding it up for everyone to see. Ava, Jamal, Lucas, and Maya stepped forward, nervous and excited. Snoop knelt down to their level, fist-bumping each of them. "You kids got imagination for real. You made Lil Snoop cooler than I ever was," he laughed. The playground buzzed with excitement, other students pressing closer to catch a glimpse. Snoop spent the afternoon with the kids, asking how they came up with their stories, listening as they explained their characters and favorite adventures. He told them about his own childhood, how he drew comics and wrote raps to escape tough days and dream of something bigger. Then, Snoop made an announcement that stunned everyone. "How about I help you make a real Lil Snoop comic book? And, while we're at it, maybe Lil Snoop comes to life right here," the kids screamed with joy. Snoop handed out sketch pads and colored markers, sitting on the blacktop to brainstorm with them. He encouraged every student to create their own superhero or sidekick for Lil Snoop's next adventure. The local news filmed the moment, capturing Snoop freestyling silly rhymes about the playground and making the teachers laugh with his playful antics. As the sun set, Snoop promised to return, with a surprise no one would forget. That night, the kids could barely sleep, hearts racing with the possibilities of what might come next. 2 weeks later, Snoop Dogg made good on his promise. He returned to Lincoln Elementary, this time with a full production crew and cases of freshly printed Lil Snoop Adventures comic books. Every student received a copy, their own name printed on the inside cover as a thank you for being part of the story. Snoop hosted a special assembly, transforming the gym into a celebration of creativity. He called Ava, Jamal, Lucas, and Maya, on stage and told their story to the whole school. He praised their teamwork, creativity, and positivity, reminding everyone, you don't have to be famous to make a difference. Sometimes, all you need is a notebook and your friends. The highlight of the assembly came when Snoop, dressed as Lil Snoop from the comic, complete with a skateboard, gold chain, and baseball cap, performed a live reading of one of the group's favorite stories. He rapped the dialogue, acted out scenes, and even let the kids improvise new adventures on stage with him. The room was filled with laughter, cheers, and a sense that anything was possible. Snoop encouraged every student to start their own creative projects, promising to support the school with donations for art supplies, books, and after-school programs. Teachers and parents were moved to tears by the outpouring of joy and encouragement. The local press covered the story, highlighting the power of imagination and the importance of role models who truly invest in their communities. Snoop spent the rest of the afternoon signing comic books, taking photos, and giving advice to aspiring, young artists. He left behind enough art materials for every student to keep creating all year long. By the end of the day, the Lil Snoop spirit was everywhere. Murals went up in hallways, kids started comic clubs, and even parents joined in on the creative fun. For Ava, Jamal, Lucas, and Maya, it was a dream come true. A reminder that sometimes, your heroes really do show up. The months that followed saw a transformation at Lincoln Elementary. With Snoop Dogg's encouragement and resources, the school's art and writing programs blossomed. Comic books, murals, and creative writing projects filled classrooms and hallways, each one inspired by the magic of Lil Snoop. The original group became leaders, helping younger students start their own projects and mentoring new artists. Ms. Morales organized a citywide youth comic festival, attracting kids from all over Los Angeles to share their stories and celebrate their creativity. Snoop Dogg returned, every few months, always bringing something new, a poetry slam, a songwriting workshop, or just time to hang out and create with the kids. His presence inspired not just the students, but the entire community, showing what could happen when celebrities use their influence to uplift and empower. Ava, Jamal, Lucas, and Maya became known as the Imagination Crew. They were invited to speak at other schools, encouraging students everywhere to believe in their ideas and work together. The Lil Snoop Adventures comic became a symbol of hope and community. It was featured in local libraries, community centers, and even on television. The story of how it began, 4 kids, a notebook, and a dream, reminded everyone that greatness can come from the most unexpected places. For Snoop, the experience was as meaningful as any award. He saw his younger self in the kids' determination and joy. You made me a character, but y'all are the real heroes, he told them. And as the years went on, the seeds planted on that playground continued to grow. More comics, more stories, and more young voices discovering the power of creativity and friendship. In every new comic book, Lil Snoop kept reminding kids, stay true, lift each other up, and never stop dreaming.